Ahoy hoy, wherever you may be. So, Conspiracy Catz's head kind of looks like a pumpkin, not to scale, obviously. And...
for Christ's sake, could you stop with that crap?
Can you give me like 5 more minutes?
You've had all morning. Go to your room if you want to carry on. For Christ's sake, listen to your bloody mother.
So today's video will be about Cece, otherwise known as What?
What are you doing? Mum said go to your room.
Yeah, I am going to my room. I've got to drive home first.
This isn't your car. Mum! Mum! Peter walks in the car! Again!
So, as I was mentioning earlier, before I was rudely interrupted, today's video will be exposing both Conspiracy Catz and the What?
Hey, Planner. Yeah, you don't need to make this. I exposed Catz as a Satanist ages ago.
Well, I will be exposing Creaky too.
Yeah, but they are the same person, so it's like I exposed them both.
Yeah, well, they don't know that, and thanks for ruining the big reveal. Jeez. So yes, we will be exposing Conspiracy Catz completely and thoroughly. In fact, here's a little clip of Conspiracy Catz being completely exposed.
Hello everybody, I am Conspiracy Catz, and this is my shaft.
And these are my balls!
See? Conspiracy Catz was just exposed. I can't actually edit that out because I'm actually live right now. That's right, I am exposing both Conspiracy Catz and the Creaky Blinder on the fly. Isn't that right, Catz? See? That just proves that we're live. And Catz, you're making this really easy for me. You were just exposed again! Now, some people may be wondering why I'm doing this. And about a year ago, I posted a video talking about Simon Dan and how he doesn't have any nipples. Now, I do suspect that Conspiracy Catz has no nipples.
Well, I'm not going to show you, am I?
Now, unlike Simon Dan, I cannot actually prove whether Conspiracy Catz has nipples or not, but I can reveal a truth about his balls and shaft. Now, if we have a shaft and balls, there are some implications that does carry. Like, if we rearrange the shapes ever so slightly, what do you think we might get? The answer is, of course, a space comma. What else would we get? So, what does this mean? Well, it clearly means that the space comma was designed for chemtrails, and it's just spraying chemtrails everywhere. And I've got a little bit of evidence here.
Chemtrails on Earth, chemtrails on Venus, they come out of a plane and they come out of my penis.
Now clearly he did cut it off before he admitted the truth, but what he was about to say there is that chemtrails come out of his space comma. Now why might Conspiracy Catz need chemtrails coming out of his space comma? Well, if you do all the high IQ research like I have done, it's to hide the fact that both Conspiracy Catz and the Creaky Blinder are Globeheads. Now that may not seem like something worth hiding, but there is video evidence out there which shows Conspiracy Catz's face covered in chemtrails.
You know what? On second thoughts, this was a dumb idea.
See, he knew it was a dumb idea because it's obvious that he has chemtrails all over his face. Now, if you don't believe me about all this, and I don't see why you wouldn't, I actually have Rapid X here to tell you a story about Conspiracy Catz.
Ahoy hoy, Planner Walk. Do I have a story about Conspiracy Catz? You know, Conspiracy Catz and I, we visit each other often. I go to visit my sister in England, so we know each other quite well. And often when I'm in England, I visit the library, right? I read my books, my physics books. And one time, I was sitting there, and I see this stack of clothes, right, in the middle of the library. and there was just a globe. I see this huge globe laying on top, perfectly shaped, but the colors were a bit off. So I went to investigate, right? When I moved in closer, I saw there were nothing written on it, just little things that said made in China. So I moved in even closer, and the colors were really off, and the country sizes were off, and it was really a weird looking globe. So I tried to pick it up, right? And the moment I touch it, it's like, would you cut that out? And I was like, whoa, it's Conspiracy Cat's hat. And I was like, I wasn't prepared for that.
I bet you weren't. If I saw a globe that was literally a globe head, I'd be a little bit freaked out too. So that just proves that Conspiracy Catz and the Creaky Blinder are literally globe heads. Anyway, speaking of not being prepared for that, a while back, Conspiracy Catz had a debate with Kent Hovind. Now, needless to say, Kent Hovind completely demolished Catz in a way that I bet Catz wasn't prepared for. But one of the interesting things that I found is that Kent Hovind kept on calling Conspiracy Catz L. Now, it's interesting that Kent Hovind called Catz by that name, because you can actually go through Conspiracy Catz's videos and find out what Catz's name is, and it's certainly not L. And I mean L as in LK, not the letter. Now, what it seems like Catz told Kent Hovind that his name was L for some reason, and I don't know how Catz could have the audacity to lie to someone as respected as inmate 06452017. Now, because Catz lied to inmate 06452017, it falls upon me to point out where Catz revealed his name in a video.
Hi, Carl. I've no idea why this guy's calling me Carl.
So did you catch it? Catz's real name is Coral. So now we know that Conspiracy Catz's real name is Coral because Digital Plague pointed it out. And Conspiracy Catz actually went on to block Digital Plague because Digital Plague was telling the truth. So what does the Raymond that everybody loves think about that?
So you're a lying thief?
How the bloody hell did he know that?
Well, it might be because I just told everybody that you're a liar. I don't know how I knew that you're a thief though. Now, before we move on to exposing Creaky, I want to point out that Conspiracy Catz used to go ahead and number all his videos, but now he doesn't do that anymore. Now, the reason why he doesn't do that anymore is so that he can go ahead and delete videos without anybody realizing that there's a video missing. For example, he's gone ahead and deleted his first ever video that he put up. Now, in that video, Conspiracy Catz claimed that water is not an element, but is instead made of hydrogen and oxygen. Now, I personally don't see how anybody can believe that. It seems that these people are more trustworthy on the subject.
Who'd have believed, really, that water isn't made of hydrogen and oxygen? We're going to visit Harry Potter land.
See? I think that Conspiracy Catz might have taken down that video because he realised how much of a fool he made of himself in that video. Anyway, on to the Creaky Blinder. Now, a lot of people say that Creaky looks like Adam Savage if Adam Savage had no hair. And, well, they're not really wrong. However, I don't have any direct evidence that Creaky is actually Adam Savage. I do, however, have evidence that Creaky isn't who he seems. Now, the first thing we've got to note about Creaky is his name, the Creaky Blinder. And his name doesn't really reflect who he is at all. So first we have to consider Creaky. Now, I have a chair which is sometimes creaky. This chair here is sometimes creaky, right? Now, a chair is alright, but imagine a creaky person. That would just be creaking non-stop. As for Blinder, you could say that he does use glasses, so therefore he must be partially blind, but I don't think that really counts. Now, you could try and say that Blinder doesn't mean that he's blind himself, it means that he blinds other people. And I mean, he's not overly good looking, but he's not ugly either. I'd date. Now, you could say, well, actually, Creaky is bald, so therefore he is a blinder. And normally, I would agree with you. People watching Creaky's videos should be blind by now due to his bald head. But they're not. Now let's do a little comparison. This is an egg. I mean Creaky's head. You're not going blind, you're fine. Now let's see what happens when someone actually shows their bald head. See, that doesn't happen with Creaky's head, so there's something off about it. And I'm pretty sure it's CGI. Now Creaky's head being CGI completely explains why people don't go blind while watching his videos, because they got all the texturing wrong. Now if Creaky was actually a bald man, then he would have a specular highlight on his head that would be so intense that it would just blind anybody who looks at it. Now there's even more evidence as to why Creaky is CGI. The lack of creaking, that's obviously because he's CGI and they couldn't afford to CGI in some creaking. Now there's a clip of Creaky's that I'm about to show you that can only be explained by high-powered CGI, because not only would Creaky have to CGI in some hair, he would have to CGI it to be black and white, and he would have to CGI all these equations all over the place.
Heat is the measure of how much energy is contained by those particles in a given volume.
See? And I didn't even mention the CGI that was applied to the voice. So that is definitive evidence that the Creaky blinder is CGI. And not to mention that he claims to be from Wales. If he was really from Wales, then Pinocchio here would have a very, very long nose. It would be very difficult to live inside a whale, and you most certainly wouldn't be able to operate a computer that can connect to the internet to upload videos inside of a whale. Now some people might say, but Planner, he doesn't mean that he lives inside a whale, he means that he comes from the country Wales. To which I say, any country where the residents are known as sheep shaggers clearly doesn't exist. But anyway, enough of the whole country thing. All of this goes deeper. I was able to CG off Creaky's moustache, beard, and tattoos. And it wasn't Superman that I found. There you have it! The Creaky blinder is actually Baldy Catz. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Baldy Catz, isn't that Conspiracy Catz's brother? And that's just what Conspiracy Catz would like you to think. Because what if I told you that Baldy Catz and Conspiracy Catz are both Coral? Because you see, both Baldy Catz and Conspiracy Catz are identical. Now you could say, well, they might just be identical twins. But I'm sorry, identical twins are a conspiracy that was made up by the deep state. So that means that not only Baldy Catz and Conspiracy Catz are the same person, it means that the Creaky blinder is a CGI clone based off of Conspiracy Catz. And there's one last thing that ties this all together. Agree to Disagree. Now, Agree to Disagree is a YouTube channel hosted by both Conspiracy Catz and the Creaky Blinder, which will host all kinds of debates. It should be really fun. I mean, it's hosted by Conspiracy Catz. It should be terrible. So yes, I'm definitely not going to be leaving a link in the description so that everyone can go check it out and subscribe and hit the bell notification, because why would I do that? But anyway, Agree to Disagree wasn't always called Agree to Disagree. It was actually once called The Conspiracy Cat. The Conspiracy Cat. That means that it's a channel that can only be hosted by the Conspiracy Cat. And it is because Creaky is only a CGI replica of Conspiracy Catz. This means that it was all set up by Conspiracy Catz from the very beginning as part of an elaborate plan. Now what exactly this plan is, I'm unsure of that myself, but what I can tell you is that if you put all the dots together, it becomes very obvious. I mean, who gave Creaky one of his very first shoutouts? Conspiracy Catz. However, by making this video, I may have actually thrown a wrench in Conspiracy Catz's plans. So, how do you feel about that, Catz?
I feel like crap. You know, that's it. I'm just gonna delete my channel now, play Red Dead Redemption 2. That's it, I'm done.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption, can I join you?
No. You've done enough damage. Bugger off.
See, now you've gone and hurt his feelings. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I mean, someone had to expose him. Better me than some low IQ flat earther. But anyway, that's it. I've exposed the Creaky blinder and Conspiracy Catz, and I know neither of them are going to respond to this video, because when I exposed Simon Dan's lies, he didn't respond. Why? Because what I said about him was true. And also, I'm pretty sure that they don't have nipples, so why would you trust them? So I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.